On this episode, I am going to talk about the importance of running a calendar and time blocking, and how powerful running a super solid calendar and time blocking can be, and how I've been super loosey goosey for a bit in regards to my calendaring.
You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Mischa Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy.
So, of the many things that I was very good at over my 20-year sales career, putting together lead lists to market to, creating flyers to get the phone to ring, systemizing the answering of the phone call, what to say, niching down. Most of this was in mortgages, by the way, and finding niches within mortgages when I talk about niches. And then there was one concept that was introduced to me. His name was Todd Duncan. If anybody's heard of Todd Duncan, he was a trainer of like a motivational trainer for loan officers. Wells Fargo actually brought him in back in the day. You could subscribe to the Todd Duncan whatever methodology, but Todd was great, and the way he talked about calendaring was red time and green time. Lots of people talk about it in different ways, but this was when it took hold for me. And so you look at your calendar and your activities. You start by looking at your activities. Are they income producing, or are they shuffling paperwork? Are they income producing, or are they shuffling paperwork? If they're income producing, they're green time activities. And if it's pushing paperwork, and oftentimes that's necessary behind the scenes stuff, of course, that has to be done, that's red. And so you schedule all your activities, and then you do your best to hold to that calendar. So for example, in mortgages, I at one particular point I would corral all the new houses that were for sale, and you could get it through the multiple listing services. I'm sure many people have heard of that, and that's a questionable way to do it, but a lot of people do it that way. Moving companies, right, like trucking moving companies, they'll pull that data. House cleaning people will pull that data. There's all sorts of companies that pull data on houses that are for sale. And so you can also these days, and also back in the day, you could pull data on houses that were for sale. There were websites, and I can't remember, well, there was one that was like Zip something, or I can't remember what the precursor to Redfin and Zillow was, but there was a precursor to Redfin, Zillow, Realtor.com, although Realtor.com's been around forever. But it was Zip something or Coyote something. I can't remember what it was called. But it was public access information. It was a public site, so all the information was there. And you could, in effect... So what I would do is I would download... Well, there was all these ways to scrub that information. And so I would time block the scrubbing of that information. So every Monday, pull the new listings. Cool thing about Zillow and Redfin is you can pull listings all across the country, houses that are for sale in all different sorts of markets. If you really want to get creative, you can go find out who has the loans on those properties. You can find out who's got phone numbers on those properties. You can do all kinds of stuff that are in my skill set that have been dormant for many, many years. But are starting to percolate and come back to life. Anyway, I think you get what I'm saying. So you time block the downloading of that data, or you hire somebody to do that for you. And then, there's your prospecting. So I did a ton of telemarketing. So I time blocked my telemarketing times on my calendar. Time blocking is an income producing activity. You time block it. Callbacks. Callbacks are income producing. So you, sorry, I got distracted. I was just thinking of as my brain is starting to go back to all this amazing sales stuff and content and all these things I used to do and systemize. One of the really cool things, I had the script, and I can't remember if this script was from Todd Duncan or another guy. I still have the sales, the home mortgage sales. It's like on CD. It was burned onto CD. A program by this other mortgage guy who was really good. But nonetheless, I came across this script for how to ask for referrals. So awesome little script. Super quick, super easy. And when I implemented that script into my business, it increased 25%. I saw a 25% increase in my business. So could you imagine having a simple script like that? And, kids, parents, this is awesome. Love it. Playing chase. Sorry about the diversion. Could you imagine implementing a simple script? It was like 3 lines that would increase your business by 25%. So for me, that was like going from 300,000 to what's 25%? That's like another $80,000. Like that was an $80,000 implementation tool. Imagine what that would do for your life. Like, is that a new house? Is that cars for your kids? Is that a year of college? Anyway, perhaps one day I'm going to find that script and put a link in there. Great script, though. Asking for referrals. Add that into your system. So I believe you get what I'm saying here. There's time block on your calendar, red and green activities. And you go to the green activities no matter what. Stop whatever administrative stuff you're doing. And when your calendar comes to that green activity on a Monday, you do it. When your calendar comes to the green activity on a Wednesday, you do it. You don't answer the phone calls. You don't react. You do your activity. And that's another huge piece of it, is the reaction. Like how often in our businesses are we reactive? Am I reactive? And it takes me away from the core income producing activity that I have scheduled. And as I talk about this, I'm shifting from my core as a stay-at-home-ish dad, wandering with intention for the last 5 or 6 years, up until the last year or so. My green income producing activity was making sure I was available for my boys. And stuff did not take precedent over that. And now I'm shifting out of that. My 20-year-old moved out as of this recording. He moved out a year ago or so, or more. My 18-year-old is super independent. So there's a few activities with him that are on the calendar that take precedent. But I'm reevaluating now what are my green income producing activities? Perhaps you're trying to create leads, or perhaps you're trying to create social media content. Whatever your green is, calendar it. So every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday from 2 to 4, this is that green activity that I do. As my father used to say, come hell or high water. Anyway, so that's what I am doing right now. I'm re-looking at my calendar, re-looking at what I'm up to, what I'm trying to create of my vision. What are my green activities that I need to calendar? I'd encourage you to do the same. Love to all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.